like it should show up in my profile. So we're gonna just wait for this to go. Okay, so it is saying it is now streaming live. If anybody's watching this right
now. Yes, it is. It is. I can see myself on YouTube.
Okay, you can see yourself. Excellent, it's working. Okay, welcome everybody to the It Will Come Show, episode 76. This is your host, George C.O.C. Samuels. And today I am being graced by the lovely Linh Podetti, who I've had the pleasure of knowing for many years. And she is the founder of Outsourcing Angel. She also has quite a few other ventures. But I thought we'd just take today to talk about the economy, the world, business, outsourcing, many of the topics that I usually enjoy talking to Linh about. And I might hand it over to Linh. Maybe if you just want to share a little bit about yourself as well, and we'll dive straight into today's episode.
I'm really excited. I'm actually really excited to talk today because I've never done this kind of live streaming YouTube. So you're teaching me something for the first time.
Excellent.
But yeah, you summed me up well. I run Outsourcing Angel, my little baby. So I've been in the outsourcing industry for like 10 years, and the whole goal is to help business owners save 70% of their costs in resources and be able to free up their time. On average, like 40 hours a week. Every client comes to us and all of a sudden they have 40 hours free to do something else that brings more value to their business or even free time for their loved ones.
Yes. And I know you have a very strong social aspect as well, like to the business, right? And I remember, watching over the years how you then ventured into doing more social good work. I've seen some of your outsourcing angels themselves, step up a bit. What got you, I guess, more passionate about that side of the business?
Yeah, I think as I was, I was born in Vietnam. So I've lived in a developing country. And I've always got a soft spot for helping people, and when I got into business, I would always try to donate where I can. I guess most people do. They try to donate where they can. But as I, got into business and I made money, I realized that money doesn't actually equal to happiness. I mean, you can make money and buy things, but the fulfillment just isn't really there until you start giving money away and being able to help people, from hiring people to being able to buy your dad a car, or then, being able to then donate money to charity work and actually do some proper, reducing poverty in places like the Philippines. When you start doing that, you just love it, and you just realize that it just makes you even more happier than trying to hit your business goals or trying to accumulate as much money as you can, So the passion just grew more. The more you give, the more you want to give. And so Outsourcing Angel, we commit to just reinvesting into charity projects, but also even training disadvantaged kids into learning how to use computers so that they one day can be a VA. Because if you can give them employment in developing country, that's better at solving poverty problems than it is to just kind of simply hand out money or whatever else.
Yep, exactly. And let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? What's happening in the world right now? Coronavirus, global pandemic, recession, possible depression. How has it impacted your business? A lot, a little, not really? What's been the situation?
I think I've always been the half glass full kind of person. So I don't think I've ever kind of feel that bad in any case, in anything in my life, right? So in this case, I am fortunate that we're not in industries like the airline industry or the restaurant industry, because obviously those ones you just have no control over the fact that you're closed. So we're not in that. We're already online. But of course we are hit because our clients would then be affected by their clients. And, or maybe clients' partners are made redundant and whatever else. So it has that ripple effect on us as well. But we're fortunate in that we're already online, so we have a very kind of dynamic team and great culture that we're able to quickly adapt, quickly go, let's try a new service, let's call up all our clients, let's try these different ideas, and we're able to move fast. And I think if the bigger your company is, the more complex it is, and of course, the bigger you are, if your industry is hit, you're even more affected. So I'm very fortunate in that sense, and working from home is always what I've been doing, right? I've always worked from home. Of course, the challenge is having kids at home now. Oh my God. There's a difference in having kids 24/7, having your kid having kids is different to having a 24/7. And so today I woke up to really good news. My husband woke up and the kids woke up and they decided to go to work together. Like my husband took them to work. So I had a day off, and yeah, it's a really beautiful feeling.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to talk about that? Because I know we have people who are watching who do have kids as well. And it's really interesting because I think a lot of people are learning about themselves and their family dynamics even more so, right? Because you're now stuck at home together.
Yes.
What lessons have you experienced so far, or what are you learning more about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate that we're spending more quality time. We're getting very innovative with how we can actually spend time together without really spending money. Like we live next to a park and playground and beach, and we rarely use it because on weekends we would drive out to places. We end up spending money, like just going to different places, taking for granted what we already have, which is nature, and it's right next door. So we've been doing a lot of that. And the fact that the gym's closed, so we've been doing running and because we have to mind the kids, so we're taking the kids with us and exercising. So quality time is definitely great, but in terms of managing your time with your kids, it's a challenge, and every week has been different. You try different things, like for a few weeks, I guess I had first week I had rules for them, tell them that this is what you do, and then they failed, and then next day you try something else. But this week I had to make a big drastic change. So for the last few weeks I really try to be a businesswoman, be a housewife still, right? Still clean up and doing whatever else, and then be a full-time mom. Having that expectation causes me to be overwhelmed and stressed because I'm like trying to be the best at every role. So then because I've been able to grow my business with the team now, I'm like, hang on a minute, why not now reprioritize that this is going to be the family time now. It might be the family time for the rest of the year. And just change that shift in your mindset to go, no, family is more important now, for now, right? I mean, it's always important, but I'm just saying in terms of priority. And business goes down a little bit. And so the moment you shift that, I just rearrange my days where now I'm going to work kind of 3 solid days, and I'll have 2 days where I'm going to focus on them. I can still wake up early and do some work in the morning if I need to catch up, but it's more like I'm talking about like intensive work. And so I really think that when you have family and whatever, you just really need to look at your kind of workload and priority and go, okay, is it really realistic to go, everything is equal and I have to be 100% on all of these areas? Or is it really, okay, let's move this a bit up, and how do I spend more time there and less time here? And so it's really worked out. I think, I feel a lot more relief this week because and the thing about this whole experience is that you never know what it feels like or what it's going to be like each week. But it's important to audit and check in on yourself. Like, how am I going? Am I being stressed out and overwhelmed? Okay, so let's make a change. And then you try it. Then next week you might try something else. But yeah.
Yeah, and I noticed also that your daughter, she's quite the TikTok dancer. And are you like looking to sort of help magnify that more?
Yeah. For her, in terms of like being the star, definitely. I know there are parents out there who are concerned about the kids using technology and whatever else and being on social media. But I really think it is what it is in life now, right? It's kind of like that's the TV now, right? And we now have social media and we have these things. If we don't take advantage of it and know how to play it, don't let it play us, we have to play it, then we can actually give ourselves and our kids a future, because social media is their business, is life now, right? Without social media, I can't get my business out. So without social media, my kid won't have that opportunity to kind of grow a fan base. Like, first of all, I'm getting her on TikTok, not to, hey, you have to use TikTok. I introduced it to her to use it, but of course I'm watching everything and it's my account. It's just got her name on it. But the reason for that is just getting her practice creating content as well. Because as a business person, you know that, you have to make content to grow your brand. And a lot of us as adults, we're awkward. We're like, I'm shy. I can't even do content. And so my main purpose is for her to build confidence. It's not even just to build fan base or anything yet, but it's through her confidence and through her just being, comfortable with who she is and developing skills. Like, she can design, edit videos and coming up with these creative tricks. This is all on her own. All of her TikTok that she kind of does, like some all of a sudden she jumps and then she's got a new top on, another jump is another top. I'm like, how did you do that? So it's teaching your kid creativity as well. And so she's on that. And I guess the long goal is like when she's, because she's learning piano and she's self-teaching her dancing and whatever she wants to do. But when that becomes a career or that becomes something she loves to do, she will also at the same time build fan base that people appreciate her work. And that is when she can have that platform to be there, right? But if you sometimes if you're too afraid of the internet, afraid of social media, then you're just blocking yourself from opportunity that's just the world. This is the world, right? So it's how do you play the social media, not let social media play you.
That's a great perspective. Thinking about that as well, right? With all these opportunities and just seeing how quickly kids pick up stuff, what do you see? And you obviously have an outsourcing business. What sort of job opportunities do you think may pop up in the future? Considering right now, right, everybody's sort of going back to roots, going back to fundamentals, and really thinking about what is it that I actually want to do when they come out of this period. What sort of things do you see shifting? And even maybe like requests or demands that are coming from clients?
Yeah, I mean, all the stuff that we do is quite like marketing, social media, online. That's kind of the things that it's not going to go away. Like that's the service that people want. People want to, still grow their branding, grow their personal brand. And so all the marketing that comes with it from Instagram. I mean, I haven't even dabbled into TikTok. So there you go. If I really wanted to grow into TikTok, if someone can teach me how to leverage the TikTok platform, that is a service. So there's always opportunity for service if you just understand different people's challenge. Of course, right now, for us, we had to introduce some smaller packages, right? Before we had kind of 40 hours, 20-hour a week VA package where we were able to be more picky at having, okay, here clients, this is the only thing we have. But because of the volatile thing that's happening, we had to be really flexible and meet the clients where they are. So clients may just want they still want to grow their business, but they still grow it in a smaller amount of, and a smaller pace. So we're doing that. But in terms of online, I mean, I've seen social media kind of service and agency kind of marketing service. It has been there 10 years ago and it's still there because things are always changing, right? Facebook looked different 10 years ago. Now it's different. There's ads, all this stuff. And it never had TikTok before. So there's going to be more platforms introduced, more software. Like I've never used this YouTube streaming. And if I'm a business owner, I'm going to go, I need to pay someone that specializes in this, broadcasting or something. And if you can just be really good at that, then you can do it. And the best thing about business is you can niche within an area. So let's just say my daughter becomes really good at TikTok dancing and TikTok itself. She could be the teacher for the other kids and do some fun thing online, like maybe the virtual training that is happening right now with Zoom virtual thing, right? Anyone can be a teacher and can work anywhere and do a virtual training.
Yeah. And, for those listening in who've, never come across you before, how did you get involved in business? What were you doing beforehand? And, why has this become the thing that you are staying with?
Okay, cool. So I had no experience, I had no money, I had no skills, I had nothing at all. I simply went through exactly what everyone else is, went to uni, picked a course that I chose because my enter score was high, like 91. So all right, I'll pick that one. I had no idea what I was doing. And I ended up studying international business and then, got a job at a supply chain company and just did whatever, like a corporate worker. But I knew that I had no flexibility, no freedom, no control over what I was going to get paid. And especially the flexibility because I had a kid when I was 20 years old, right? So my son is 16 right now. And at that time, I experienced what most 30-year-olds are experiencing, kind of like my life is better than this. I can't do the 9-to-5 thing. But I experienced it in my 20s. And I asked myself, do I want happiness and freedom or do I want to slave away for money? And so I chose that. And I ended up starting a business with no experience. A friend of mine gave me some nail polish to try. I tried it. Oh, it's good quality, Australian made. It's cheap. I can sell this with the gullible mind and just going, and positivity. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to make it work. And then had to learn how to organize to get a website done, get all my digital marketing to get people to know of me. I'm like, I've got a website. Where's all the customers, right? It's like, you're so gullible. And so then I started outsourcing first to local companies and then got ripped off. Then had no limited money, so outsourced to overseas people, ripped off as well, and just spent a lot of money and time on trying to get things done. But then when I was looking into the next opportunity, because I hated nail polish, it was not my passion, it was just my scapegoat to get out of that corporate job. And when other business owners asked me for advice on how to get things outsourced, you know, getting website done, getting SEO, whatever else, I said, I can do it. And then I got a client, and then I got another client. I'm like, oh my God, it's a business now. It's people are paying me for the knowledge that I've gained from that first business. So the whole point of this story is that you don't need to have the money and the skill and the knowledge or whatever. You just have to give something a go, because that thing will then lead to something else. And now I'm an outsourcing expert, but I was not that before, right? I never heard of outsourcing before. And then because I've been doing it for 10 years, and I really think it's important to stick to what you do best and do well at it, right? People say you need 10,000 hours to be an expert of something. Well, yeah, find something to do, stick in it long enough, because the more you do, the more you actually like it more. It's like if you first ride a bike and it's hard, you actually you don't enjoy it as much. But the moment you can ride it really fast and you can ride everywhere, you're going to love bike riding more. Same in business, in any passion, right? You will fall in love with it. And so I love outsourcing the more I am in it.
Wow. I mean, that's such a good point as well, you know, because a lot of people do feel like giving up, or they think that because they tried something and it didn't work in a very short period of time, that it's not for them, or that it didn't work, or they failed or something, right? What have been some of your perceived failures? You know, because I know you're generally optimistic and positive, right? But what some of your failures were that, like, you really learned from?
Yeah, I mean, I failed a lot in a sense. So when you say fail, we are always going to fail on the steps of the way, but we don't literally fail and it's the end, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Failure then leads you to the next lesson, and that lesson goes to the next opportunity. I've never seen a failure that just kind of, the only time you fail is when you just stop and you never continue again. But yeah, I mean, in terms of business, failure in I would say my first nail polish business, in that I didn't make much money. I made some sales, didn't enjoy it, and then end up selling it to someone else. And then I've tried all these different websites before. I remember starting a blog site that interprets what beautiful world famous quotes mean, so that more people will come and I'll make money from Google AdSense, you know. So I start that, and then it's like, okay, this is way too much investment. So I close that down. I had a website that was selling mobile phone numbers, premium phone numbers, and that I'm a very quick action taker. But what I love about that is you fail faster when you take action, because you can sit there and think about something, but you just never know if you will like it, if it will work. There's too many ifs, so just do it. And I guess I learned better from real experience than actually being told, hey, you know, this or that, whatever. I mean, there is so many ways to make money. So I've tried different things. I tried blogging, I tried this and that, but some things I know that it just wouldn't work for me unless I've tried. So tried all that. I mean, and personally failed so many ways, from relationships to having a kid so young, and trouble at home, failure in all aspects of life. But then it's the reason why I just want to be an inspiration to people now, because I'm like, if I can turn my life around and you know, turn all those hardships and challenges into success now, it's something that I want to remind people, that you can turn your life around. It's not the end. You just keep going.
Exactly, keep going. And speaking of inspiring, I know that you also picked up acting, right? Recently. Yes. So what inspired that?
So once again, like, I didn't know I was going to be an actor, because I was a shy girl, and I'm from Vietnam, and I'm like so scared. But I tried. I wanted to face my fear, and I would always put my hands up. I started to do stuff to face my fear. Right, standing up in public speaking. It's not something I like. It's something I just try to do because I don't want to be bad at something. And then video content for business. You know, too bad, if you want to grow your brand and your business, you're gonna have to face your fear and put some more videos out there. And I remember at first I just did not know what to say. And I remember having Zoom meetings like this, and I would be kind of like heart stomping and going, oh my God, I'm nervous. And then I'm really kind of gullible and vulnerable, innocent. I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. And they're like, I'll just kind of that. But then the more I did it, the more it just becomes like talking to a friend. It doesn't matter anymore. And so then, beginner's luck came, and I got myself a ad. I won an ad, and I was in an ad, a TV ad. Well, it just didn't just fall on my lap. I went to auditions because the opportunity came and said, hey, do you want to audition? I'm like, yeah, right. So it always comes down to give things a go. And it wasn't my first audition. It was a few auditions, but I kept giving it a go. And when I got that audition and I did the TV ad, I was like, I actually like this. This is actually fun. But still, I didn't decide to be an actor yet. Still, the whole year, I was like, I don't know, I'm too old. I had limiting beliefs like other people. It's like, I'm too old, not my time, blah, blah, blah. But then one day, something hit me. I don't know where it's God's quick message that just goes, you should be an actor. It was as if someone just gave me that answer. And then when I said it, I was like, oh my God, I actually want that. I like that. Whereas when people told me to do public speaking, be a speaker, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, like I could never feel excited about it. But the moment I said acting, even though I'm not I don't know how to act yet, it's just my kind of natural speaking kind of thing. I don't have acting skill. Somehow I was like, oh, I like this. And because of that excitement and realizing that I could like this, I just delved into it and I started doing learning and practicing. And that you're in the right path when you're doing it, and time just flies and you want to get better at it. It's not a chore. It's not something like you procrastinate. You kind of like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, it was really cool to see, when you started picking it up. And I think it does kind of go hand in hand though with your personality, right? Because for me, I've always known you to be like quite out there and, take initiative and stuff. And I guess at least now at this time, right? Like if there was any advice you drop or give for folks who might have lost their jobs, at this point in time, or who are thinking about, pivoting or trying something new, what advice would you give them to now?
Yeah, if you lost your job and you've always wanted to start a business, well, maybe this is that opportunity, that kick in the ass, that go do it now. Because if you didn't lose your job, you'll be still there and you're still chasing the money, right? So, so of course, take this opportunity to go and do what you've always wanted to do, and don't sit there thinking maybe I should go and get another job. Because as you know, jobs nowadays aren't stable, right? At least you still don't have that much control. It's not as stable as in the past where you feel like even big corporations can let you go right now. This is the first time that I've seen that big corporations can actually, make you redundant and you lose your job with that. But if you did enjoy your job and you got redundant, of course, it's a sad thing. But it's really a time for you to learn something new. There's so much opportunities out there. And even though coronavirus didn't happen 10 years ago, when I quit my job and started fresh, it felt like, oh my God, like what do I do next? And stuck in that kind of vulnerability and that kind of, you want to get somewhere, but you have no idea where. It's just almost like you can't see the path because there's no steps. It's not like, because if you've done something, then you can see the steps. But if you've never done anything, you can't see the steps. So all you do is just learn and start to. So there's a lot of education nowadays, which is a lot of free ones, a lot of really well organized training programs that people do, and even famous people are putting out workshops and master classes, right? Which that means that we have a lot of opportunities to learn. Second of all, my biggest advice is pay for information. Like, if you don't have money at all, then okay, you can't pay. But if you do have some sort of money, I think it's really important to fast track and get the right information faster than try to figure out yourself, because I do regret that part. Now that I'm into acting, I'm paying for information more. I'd rather pay for coaching and get my arts and techniques faster and get it right, and getting coaching in terms of what are my career path versus trying to figure out, and I could spend years and years doing that. So in business, I still was spending money, but wasn't spending money on coaching and mentoring and getting the right advice. I was just throwing money at trying things, building things, doing this, doing that, and that. So I think I could have saved a lot of time fast tracking. So find someone that you like that has the success that you want, model them or get coached and mentored by them, and then just put in the hard work of learning something new and giving it a go. And then you never know what that next path will be.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. It reminds me, right? Because you went to Tony Robbins, the UPW stuff as well, right? And I
Yes,
remember, yeah,
I'm a
he
big
was
fan of them.
same. And I
Yep.
remember he was talking about like that coaching thing about like just, finding like the best in their field of wherever it is that you want to get to, and literally, go find them, learn from them, because you just fast track, a lot of your learning. And
Yes.
for those that don't know, I mean, do you offer those type of services as well?
Well, yes, I've been asked to, people ask me advice all the time, especially now that I'm doing a lot of content, and people are like, oh, I'm really grateful that you put all this content, and then I would actually just free advice. But because I have really limited time now, and also I feel like I actually do want to help people. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to explore the mentorship kind of thing. I'm going to give some time out and see how I feel, and because it's not my main business. I'm not selling coaching as a service, because I do believe in freedom and scalability with the team and not sell my time for money. But right now I am trying it out.
But now, yes.
Yeah, right now, just trying it out. It's mentoring with Lynn, direct with Lynn. So if you do want to have a chat with me, you can come to me, and so I can teach you everything I know until I get exhausted and go, no more mentoring.
Yep. So, I would definitely recommend Lynn as well. I've known her for many years, and she definitely is good at like, getting stuff done, like highly efficient, knows how to, connect people, and she always has the personality to match. So if people did want to connect with you, Lynn, how would they best connect with you?
Okay, so you can find me on YouTube. Type my name in, Linh Podetti. You'll find my channel. I'm everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, wherever you're watching this, you can connect with me. I'm very friendly. I don't bite. So do connect with me. And yeah, I've been producing a lot of video content because like I said, people ask me questions again and again. And I'm like, if I answer it again and again, it's just not well leveraged. So then I have created a lot of videos on YouTube. So if you want to check that out, because a lot of answers are there. But then, yeah, if you still need some more help, just reach out to me.
Perfect. So I'll include your name and links and all those relevant things in the show notes. And I guess sort of like a final question, what's something you'd like to ask me? Because I know actually this session was usually okay. So for those of you watching, Lynn and I usually catch up when we can, when we're able to sync up properly, and we'll usually have a chat between each other. It's obviously not like an interview style, but I thought, because I wanted to put Lynn on stage more. But yeah, what's a question you'd like to ask at this point in time?
Yeah, how are you going with the whole coronavirus? How has it hit you? And what advice would you give to people that are feeling like, I don't know, depressed, like as in it's too dark out there? Yeah, I have that question for you.
Okay, good question. It's really interesting because at least for this show, right, I rebooted it as a result of essentially experiencing similar things to you, whereby people have been, asking, particular types of questions. The answers I was given, I think, could have helped or been applied to a lot of people listening in. I have been going more into the socioeconomic side of things because, I'm involved in the Bitcoin world and blockchain and all the tech side. But a lot of that stuff, right, that I was involved in before, it's all manifesting now. Right. So it's very interesting to see how that is played out. But what I would
you're saying Bitcoin's going to go up?
There's a whole bunch of different factors. But what I've seen in terms of sentiment in like on Twitter and social media, right, is that a lot of prominent figures who correctly predicted this as well, they are saying get into gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And so, a lot of people you'll see maybe rushing to Bitcoin, but there are technical issues right now with BTC, which I've kind of shared with you in the past, right? Because you've seen my journey.
And I've been one of those like non-technical person that was like went one ear out the other.
Yep, exactly. And for most people, right? But I think fundamentally to help people understand why it matters is because so much manipulation in our economy has taken place, right? So many of these bailouts have taken place, and it's been a massive bubble that's just been constantly growing. And I guess the world economy, many governments have just been putting band-aids over the problems, and I feel that this is like a reflection of our society. If there is an issue, go pop a pill. Don't deal with the root cause. just put a Band-Aid over it and sweep it under the rug, right? We don't allow ourselves to rest. We don't let ourselves time to recover. And so it's like Mother Nature, I feel, has done that for us, forced us,
and
right?
especially I believe in God, and I think that it is God doing that right now.
Yes. Actually, okay, we'll come back to me as well. But for you, I know you've had a very interesting journey recently, right? Like for you, you found God. And how has that played into your business and your life? And
perfect timing, because I've never experienced this kind of big event, the coronavirus, that affects everybody. And I think if I didn't find God just before that, January, and being really faithful and believing in him, and having a relationship with him, it wouldn't have given me such power and such strength. And so every morning, all I do is speak to him and tell him how I feel about how I'm really feeling, and pray for certain things, and knowing and trusting that it's all going to work out. And it's, you know, proven in the past as well. But having that deeper relationship, and of course on YouTube, you can watch so many preachers and teachings about that, and then it just, you kind of listen to that, and it gives you that motivation and understanding, and that it's all part of the plan. But overall, I just have so much strength, and knowing everything will be okay.
Beautiful. I mean, I think that's a very interesting point, because now as well, right? I think a lot of people might be seeking that as well, right? It's during times of crisis that people then, you know, they might have lost hope or faith in the world, and they're like, what do I have left, you know? And so, I mean, I was happy to hear that, you know, you went through that journey as well. But I guess, you know,
tying your thing.
Yes, tying it back. In terms of advice, I guess, for people right now, it's, if you have not, you know, been preparing for this, and you find yourself in this precarious situation whereby, you know, you've either lost your job or struggling with money, now's probably a good time, right, to really think about, like, one, what matters in your life, two, how are you going to reposition yourself in the future, economically as well, and three, to not think that it won't affect you, because it may affect you indirectly through who you know. Still, of course, to stay positive, right? You know, I think you and I, Lynn, like, we're both generally optimistic people, but I want also people to know that despite what's happening right now, I think this is going to last till about 2022 in terms of the economic fallout. Last night, if we weren't doing this interview today, I would have been talking about how last night the price of oil went negative. It went to like, so all of these oil producers are paying people to take the oil off their hands, right?
Wow, that's why it's negative. I was wondering, what does negative mean? Jesus,
And if you look at economically, many countries' governments have relied on their oil wealth, right, to function. Now that it's gone negative, this is going to be massive. What that might mean is that governments may continue to pull out these print currency, print money, right? You know, bring out these stimulus packages. The problem is they're putting out these stimulus packages, but people are still at home. They're not going out, right?
They're not even spending.
Correct. And naturally, psychologically, people are going to be more reluctant to spend their money during this time. So all of this printing of money isn't actually going to help the situation. It's going to make it worse, because the citizens are going to actually be paying that money back off. Trillions of dollars, right? So in many ways, but I mean, I understand why they're doing it, right? Because it's kind of like they feel like it's their only way of keeping the economy afloat. But this is where you see how we've prioritized money and economics over health, right? And well-being and family and the things that matter.
So deep. And and I really do agree with you in that sense. Use this opportunity to change your life, to build something, learn something new, create your own business, let's say, and vow to never be in this position again, this vulnerability again. And I think I've done that. I think like 10 years ago when I quit my corporate job because I was promised a promotion and all that, and I didn't. And I realized my life is in someone else's hand. And that lesson then made me go, that's it. I'm going to work hard and to set something up for myself. And I'm glad that I have that control, because like, although my business is hit, let's say, but I have the control to do something about it. But if I work for someone, they might go, well, I don't want to pivot. I'm just going to sack people. Then that's the problem. So just, it's a lesson learned for us.
Exactly. Okay, well, with that, Lynn, thank you so much for your time. We definitely went over what I
I'm talking to you.
I love talking to you. But yeah, no, thank you for sharing your time. We'll catch up again outside of this as well,
Yes.
for other things.
Yes.
But yes, for those that are listening in, I will put in the show notes. Lynn Podetti, it's Linh, and Podetti is Podetti.
Yes.
So yeah, check her out. Outsourcing Angel as well, the website, right?
Yes, outsourcingangel.com. Yeah.
You go to that. All right.
Boom.
With that, thanks again, Lynn. And for those, as always, remember, through patience and persistence, it will come.
Yes, it will come.